Hello and welcome to the latest episode of The Pig Edge, Teagasc's pig podcast with me, Amy Quinn, where we are bringing you the latest news, information and advice to keep Irish pig farmers up to date. On this episode, I'm joined by Dr. Carla Gomes of Animal Health Ireland. Carla is the Pig Health Check Programme Manager with AHI, and in this episode she's going to talk to us about the Pig Health Check Programme, including the new Pig Health Check database and how farmers can access their data. Carla also lets us know about the upcoming Salmonella webinar on the 9th of November and what we can expect from it. I started by asking Carla to tell us about the Pig Health Check programme.
So the Pig Health Check is an Animal Health Ireland-led program that started in 2019 and is co-funded by pig producers through a levy and AFM. Its aim is to improve the profitability and sustainability of the Irish pig industry through improved animal health and welfare.
And what are the key areas the programme focuses on?
So currently the program is addressing or aim to address 5 key areas. So the first is biosecurity by conducting biosecurity assessments on farm. The second one is animal welfare by conducting assessments of risk factors for tail biting based on the tool developed in collaboration with Teagasc and AFM. And the third one is animal health by capturing, analyzing, and reporting of abattoir data from ante-mortem and post-mortem meat inspections based on the system that is being developed by AFM. The fourth one is antimicrobial usage by analyzing that data using the database created by AFM for recording antimicrobial usage by pig farmers and linking that data to health and disease data to demonstrate relationships between health and usage. And the fifth area is veterinary public health. So the Pig Health Check Technical Working Group is doing a review of the National Salmonella Control Programme, is making recommendations to improve that program by engaging farmers and vets into the program and therefore improving the outcomes. A key element of the program will be the development of a benchmarking tool that allows farmers to monitor their status for a range of measures and to compare these with the national profile.
Okay, and how are farmers going to be able to access their data?
So central, as I said, to the Pig Health Check program is the creation of a central database that will allow all the data captured from the program activities I mentioned before to be linked, analyzed, and shown and benchmarked. So this new database is being developed for Animal Health Ireland by the Irish Cattle Breeding Federation, and during the last 2 years been working on the portal which gives access to this data. Some farmers have already trialed this portal, and you will go live for all farmers in the week starting the 15th of November. So then farmers will have access to their biosecurity reviews, their tail biting risk factors assessments, and with time, farms will have access to the ante-mortem data and to the salmonella serology data and their antimicrobial usage data if they decide to share that data with the Pig Health Check database. Post-mortem data is not yet being captured by a central information system because it's still being developed by AFM. But as soon as it is developed, it will be captured by that system.
And how can farmers access the Pig Health Check portal, and what do they need to do if they're not already part of the Pig Health Check database?
So the portal can be accessed through going to pighealthcheck.ie or through Animal Health Ireland website, which then has a link there to the portal. The farmers will receive in the week that the portal will be launched to everyone an email with their username and how to set up their password so they can access the system. When they log in for the first time, they'll be asked to sign some permissions, and some of those permissions is to allow their nominated attending vet to be able to access their data and to be able also to input the biosecurity and biting risk assessment into the portal. And in the portal, the farmers will be able to access their data and dashboards where the results are benchmarked against the national results and progress over time is tracked. These tools will allow for better management of animal health and help decision making.
Okay, so they'll get their login details this month and be able to access that data.
Exactly. The only thing that might delay them access the data is if we don't have an email for them. If that's the case, I'll just urge them to contact AHI so we can update their details and add that email address so they can start receiving that information and therefore being able to access the portal.
Can other advisors like the PVPs or Teagasc advisors have access to a farmer's data?
So they can have access. So the farmer will need to give them permission to do so. They will have to sign a permission form, and then the advisors will be able to access their data, to see their data. They won't be able to input any data, but they'll be able to see the farm data.
Okay, and what do you feel the main benefit of this will be?
I think because the database captures so much information, gives a holistic picture of what's happening at farm level, the advisors will be best positioned to give farm-specific advice and therefore improve decision-making at farm level.
For farmers that have not already done so, how can they avail of the biosecurity assessments and the tail biting risk assessments? What would they need to do?
So these assessments are delivered free of charge by trained veterinary practitioners and funded through the Target Advisory Service on Animal Health, so the TASA service and the Rural Development Program, which the payment is made directly to the PVP following completion of the assessments. Reviews. So the biosecurity assessment follows a protocol. We are using a protocol developed by University of Ghent called the BioCheck protocol. And he assesses both external biosecurity, so measures to prevent disease entering into the unit, and internal biosecurity, measures to prevent disease spreading within the unit. While the tail biting risk assessments will enable farmers to engage with their vet to address risk factors for tail biting present at farm, and in this way reduce the need to tail dock their pigs. Only your nominated attending veterinary practitioner will be able to carry out these assessments if they have been trained to deliver those assessments. On AHI website, you can find the contact details of all the PVPs that have been trained to do these assessments. At this stage, most of the PVPs working with pig farmers have now been trained to these assessments, so you can easily find the vet that can do them. And just another brief mention is that in terms of nominating your attending vet, the farmers have done that when they fill their pig registration form, but you can update that at any time by contacting their regional veterinary office.
If we move briefly to the Salmonella National Control Programme, what are the new initiatives there that will be introduced to the programme?
So as I mentioned before, the technical working group has reviewed the current program and suggested some changes, which were agreed by the implementation group, but still need to be approved by the minister. What was agreed was that samples should be collected, environmental samples should be collected of all the finishing pens of the farms that are part of the National Salmonella Control Programme once a year. These samples then should be tested to determine what kind of salmonella, if there is any salmonella at all, and what kind of salmonella is present at farm level. And this information should be fed back to the farmer and his attending veterinary practitioner, so both can develop a farm-specific action plan to control salmonella. If farmers want to know more about this, they can attend a Salmonella webinar on the 9th of November.
Can you tell us a bit more about what we can expect from this Salmonella webinar on November 9th? Like, how can farmers register and what will be discussed?
So farmers can register by going to HI webpage and the Pig Health, and if they click in the Pig Health Check program information, they will see the advertising of the webinar and the link to register. The webinar is mainly to raise awareness about why it's so important to control salmonella, to provide some details about a new proposed TASA activity for helping farmers develop a farm-specific control plan for salmonella, and to provide an example of how a farmer managed to control salmonella on his farms.
Okay, so well worthwhile for farmers to attend if they can.
Exactly. And at the beginning of next year, we hope to organize a second webinar just to discuss control strategies for salmonella.
Okay. And while we're on the topic of salmonella, could you provide us with some brief advice maybe on how to control salmonella at farm level in Ireland?
So several studies have been done in relation to control of Salmonella worldwide. However, most of them were focusing on production systems that are not exactly the same as in Ireland. Therefore, this January, HI in collaboration with Teagasc and also with the laboratorial support from DAFM have started a case control study to determine risk factors for Salmonella in Irish pig farms. The aim of the study is to compare farms with high and low prevalence for Salmonella based on the results coming from factories, and to identify practices that may be associated with control of Salmonella. Currently, 43 units have enrolled to do this study, and almost all have been sampled, so the sampling is finishing this week. However, we would ideally like 64 farms. So if you ever receive any letter of invitation to be part of the study, it's not yet too late. So get in touch with me so you can be part of it. The study has the endorsement of a range of stakeholders in the pig industry, including IFA, Board BIA, Teagasc, and AFM. And the results of the study will be available at the beginning of next year, and hopefully will help inform farmers of measures that can work at farm level. In terms of more specific advice, the technical working group has produced 2 fact sheets, one about Salmonella in general and another about Salmonella diagnostics. The first explains that not all Salmonellas are the same, and the second explains the differences between the serological and bacteriological tests for Salmonella. You can find both in the HI website. In the future, we'll aim to produce more fact sheets about the Salmonella controls. So we aim to learn with the case control study, and then we'll produce more specific advice.
You mentioned that post-mortem data is not yet captured, but I suppose a question farmers really want to know is, when will this be available to them?
So that one is still developing the system. It has been delayed for some time. There isn't yet a timeline of when it's going to be available. We hope that will be available next year. And as soon as it is being captured, it will be displayed through the Pig Health Check dashboards, and will be benchmarked, and reports will go to the farmers.
And finally, what can we expect from the programme in the future? What is the programme going to focus on next?
So the Pig Health Check program activities are defined by the implementation group. Several stakeholders in the pig sector are part of that implementation group. As you mentioned, IFA, DAFM, Board BIA, Meat Industry Ireland, and Teagasc. Therefore, it's kind of like is a decision for that group what further activities should be part of the Pig Health Check program. But I would emphasize that having a central database that captures all the data, having someone coordinating activities does expand the potential to of the program to other areas, other endemic diseases, or other areas that are of interest to the pig sector.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Carla. I suppose a lot of information there for producers on what's available to them. I suppose just a reminder then for farmers that they will all receive their login details and instructions on how to access their data on the new database over the course of November. Thanks again, Carla.
Thank you for having me, Amy.
That's it for this episode of The Pig Edge, and many thanks to Carla for joining me on the show. Don't forget to listen and follow on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from so you never miss an episode. And for more information from the Pig Development Department, go to teagasc.ie/pigs and follow us on Twitter at @teagascpigs. I'm Amy Quinn. Thanks for listening.